Hello. This is Let's View It Again, a podcast where we talk about the movies we love, cult classics, things of that sort. I am Eugene, and to my left is my wonderful, illustrious partner in crime, my lover and my secretary, Steph.
Hi, everybody.
How you feeling, Steph?
Feeling good. It's our first one. Let's get it.
We're going to do it. We're going to knock it out the park. Today's movie is a black classic. Goes by the title of Soul Food. They don't say it like that in the movie. But that's what we're discussing today. Give us a rundown, Steph.
All right. We're going to look at Soul Food. Give a quick summary. This is what I am.
From IMDb.
DB. I always get that backwards.
Or Internet Movie. Yeah, DB. Database.
Okay. Makes sense
That's
now.
what it stands for. Did you know that?
I didn't. That wasn't necessary.
This podcast is about learning. I'm gonna put a graphic right there. Learning.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are we keeping this?
Yeah, we're keeping this.
Okay. All right. It's told through the eyes of 11-year-old Ahmad. Soul Food follows the trials of the Joseph family. They're a close-knit Chicago family that gets together to have Sunday dinner every week. After the matriarch falls ill, it throws the family into chaos and the struggle to maintain any semblance of normalcy.
That's all you get. Okay. Was that it?
That's it. That's it.
Few facts on the movie. Soul Food was released September 97, earned $43.7 million on a $7.5 million budget. Pretty good turnover, yeah. It's based around the director George Tillman Jr.'s family, his upbringing. He went on to direct Notorious, The Hate You Give. He loves black movies. And
black movies?
African American movies. What did I
mean, is it just movies or is it black movies?
Those had black people in them.
He likes to tell black stories.
Yeah. Sure. It was produced by Babyface and his wife, Tracy Edmonds. I don't know why they were into movies, but whatever. They released the soundtrack on the Face, of course. And based on the success of the movie, which, like I said, they did pretty good. They went on to do a Showtime series, which it ran for 5 seasons on Showtime, which, interestingly enough, starred another Vanessa Williams, but she's dark-skinned. Odd. And Mother Joe reprised her role in the show in flashbacks. So, because she was already dead by this time.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Did I spoil it? Spoiler alert for
There's
the 30-year-old movie.
There's going to be a lot of spoilers.
Yeah. Anyway, the stars of the movie stars Ahmad, who is pretty much the protagonist and the narrator of the movie, is Brandon Hammond. He is from Baton Rouge. So, what's up, Louisiana boy?
That boo.
He was in Menace to Society. I don't remember him from anything else. I don't know if he does anything these days. I didn't find any information online. Neil Long was stars as Bird. I guess I should give a background first. The movie, you didn't put it in your synopsis, and you missed that on that point. So we have to deduct some points because you didn't say that it revolved around basically the sisters. It's told through the eyes of Ahmad, his aunts and mother. So it's the 3 women of the household and Mother Joe. So the sisters are the Bird,
Joseph family.
Bird, Terry, and Maxine. Bird is played by Nia Long. Before Soul Food, she was in Friday in 95, Boys in the Hood in 91. Maybe her first movie, first big screen, Boys in the Hood. She went on again she worked with Ice Cube again in Are We There Yet? As well as Friday, obviously. Then she did Love Jones, Best Man, and she was on Fresh Prince for a couple of seasons. I don't know how many.
Still working today.
Yeah, so at the time she was booked and busy, or busy. Vanessa Williams, she plays Terry, which is the older sister, I do believe.
She's the oldest.
Yeah, she's the oldest sister. Bird is the youngest. Terry, before Soul Food, Vanessa Williams had won Miss America in 84. She stripped down and got stripped of her title. She had a popular song, Save the Best for Last, in 1991.
Very popular.
She was in Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger like in 96. So I think that was a big movie. Before this, she was in Candyman. She was in the Jackson 5 miniseries. She did a few things after this, but her greatest accomplishment obviously is as Dorothy in Johnson Family Vacation, which is a movie we are surely going to cover because I love it. The middle sister is Vivica Fox, Aunt Maxine. She was already a household name before this movie because she was in Independence Day, which was a huge movie. She was in Set It Off, another black classic, probably be reviewed on this podcast as well. Right. She was in Kill Bill. Well, I'm sure we're gonna do that one. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Kingdom Come. Who Can Play This Game? She works, man.
Variety.
Other co-stars. Mother Joe is Irma P. Hall. She plays Josephine Joseph, which is whatever that name is about. She has like 100 film credits, like dating back to like the 70s. Most of the biggest besides this was The Lady Killers. This I remember in. I don't know if you know her from anything else. She was in like a bunch of blaxploitation movies and stuff for this, but she always plays an old lady now. She's still with us. Galveston, Texas. Irma P. Hall.
Not too far.
Michael Beach, who plays Miles and sings with Babyface and Miles Stone in this movie, which we will be discussing. He was in Lean on Me. Obviously, he was the man who flipped the desk because he was very angry. Waiting Exhale, another black movie we'll surely be reviewing. He wasn't he on like television show? Was he on ER or something? I know he did television something.
I'm sure,
his face. Yeah. He's been in things. And Liam Mekhi Phifer, everybody knows him. I think this is his first big role. He was in Clockers.
I'm not familiar with that
It's a Spike Lee joint.
Oh, I have to go back. I don't think I've seen that one.
To me. I think it'd be maybe it's a cult classic too. So we need to let's view it again. So everybody knows him. He was also in 8 Mile as Bunny Rabbit's homeboy. So let's get this thing started. Give us a rundown of the movie, man. Let's take the people through it. We
already have a summary, so we're gonna take
them through the beginning and walk them through. If you've never seen this movie, these are spoiler alerts.
Definitely
if you hadn't
spoilers.
seen it, I don't know why you're listening to this show. Go ahead.
But we start out at the wedding.
Yes.
We have Liam and Bird, the youngest of the Joseph sisters. And so we kind of get an overview at the beginning of each character. Ahmad takes us, through the scene, and we're introduced to each character. I think it does the director or writers or director, they do a good job of giving an overview. Babyface did it. I don't know. Overview of each character, and then they get fleshed out, as the movie goes. And they stay. I don't know if they really evolve.
None of the characters. We'll get into the particulars.
Maybe so.
Now
I think about it.
Feelings about it, but I don't think anybody necessarily evolves. But
which is okay. It's a movie.
People don't evolve sometimes.
Well,
in real life, so.
But maybe that's why it was a prime movie to be a
cult classic.
No, to have its own show eventually.
Yeah,
and then we get to see some evolution there.
I guess, and not to jump too far ahead, the movie is set up like a sitcom, where you have because it's a bunch of people anyway, so you can't really tell a linear story, with a bunch of characters. But they set it up, each individual has their own little story. You know how sitcoms work. So they try, and you only have an hour and a half to work with. So I get it. So it did make sense that it would be a series versus just a standalone movie. So it works. Gotcha. And I don't know. Did you watch the show? Any? I didn't have Showtime. We were poor, so
maybe a few episodes. I don't know if we ever just sat down and watched it. Like I remember who plays the characters. Once again, or who played the characters in the series, but that's something that I mean, I would have to go back and watch to see what happened. But
go ahead.
back to
I'm
the
sorry,
opening.
guys.
We open up at the wedding, and you have Liam and Bird, and there's already conflict at the beginning. Somehow, both of their exes got invited
Liam,
or not invited.
Mekhi Phifer
Crashed the party.
and Bird are being inappropriate at their wedding. This is how we're introduced to these characters.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't understand how they got in. So you had Liam.
Also,
go ahead.
This is the very first time that we see the titular soul food. They're eating soul food at the wedding. So I don't know if you picked up on that. And Ahmad he tells you, if you don't know what soul food is, he breaks it down for you first here. He's going to do it again. Don't worry. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but back to the inappropriate exes. We have Liam and his
stripper.
We don't know if she was a stripper.
Okay, she was showing tail.
Huh? Dancing, I guess, provocatively, but he was participating, and I don't know if he was drunk. He had a big
champagne bottle.
Yeah, so I figured he was drunk at this time. I don't know how you get so drunk that you forget you at your wedding and your wife is around, but hey, I guess it happens.
And then his wife
yeah, go ahead.
gets felt up by her ex, Samuel, who I forgot that guy's name, and I really feel like we should have did the research because I didn't put him on my little cards here. But he's been in stuff. He was on Living Single.
Yes, I remember he was Living Single. Deliverers.
Love interest.
He was so what is it? Deliver Us from Evil.
Oh yeah.
Another set of sisters. That's funny.
Yes,
that movie, that comedy. He was on
we
that.
We definitely got to review that. Okay, we're getting off top. Go ahead.
No, but you just had that set up, and then you have like you said, Ahmad gives the overview of the Sunday dinner tradition. It began in Mississippi. I guess you're alluding to the Great Migration because now they're in, what do we say, Chicago?
Yes. We didn't say that, but it takes place in Chicago. We're jumping all over the place.
Well, that was in the overview at the beginning. They're in Chicago.
Oh, you did say that.
So you kind of get a hint to the, that little bit of history, the Great Migration. And he also introduces us to Uncle Pete.
Yes, that takes place.
You want to say anything about Uncle Pete? I know he's one of your favorite characters.
We're gonna talk about our favorite scenes and quotes later, but yes, Uncle Pete delivers the best line.
But Uncle Pete is Ahmad's great uncle. He is Mama Joe's brother, and we know, he has some type of, I guess you say, cognitive decline, dementia. But he pops up, maybe twice in the movie.
Yes, they try to break into his room, and I guess I'll take over from here. After they leave the wedding, like I say, Mama Joe saves the day, as Mama Joe goes to do. Then they go through a whole beautiful montage, and Mama tells you once again about soul food. Now, actually eating this time around the table, a gathering of souls, as he says, which, whatever. Did you ever say the word soul food in your house when you were growing up? We never said it. It was just food.
I don't think we ever said soul food.
I want some soul food, Mama. I ain't never said that.
Because I guess it was like, what else would you have had?
Everything was soul food.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I ever heard anybody say I want some soul. Aside from going to a soul food restaurant.
I feel like that popped up after the, and I'm sure
maybe
the term
so
was used because Good and Mob has an album called Soul Food that came out before this movie. So I think it's a regional thing. In North Louisiana, we did not say soul food. I never heard that term prior to this. That I remember. It was just food.
Yeah, it was just food. And maybe, I don't know if it derived, elsewhere just to describe African American cuisine. I don't know, but no.
A gathering of souls. Ahmad told you, you're not listening.
No, I don't think I've ever said, I want some soul food.
Going back to the introduction of the characters, when Ahmad introduces the characters early on at the wedding, we get a feel of how everyone interacts. We meet the sisters, and we see, Terry, they put this thing on her where she's always talking about her money and job. Max, she's kind of middle of the road. Bird, loose and free. But after the
she
montage,
has her own business.
she
well,
does
Bird
that.
does.
Then
She has
Terry
own
gave her
salon.
money for automatically Terry's money, which makes no sense either. That's a stupid line because like it's ATM automatic. It's not like we're not giving you money, Terry. We're taking money from you. So it's not.
Well, they taking money from the ATM.
So are they saying this? So she's saying like, but that doesn't make sense.
Because when you go to an ATM, you take out your money.
Correct.
You think you're too deep.
But we after the montage we get a insight as to why Maxine and Terry don't like each other. You know, Max stole in quotes.
That was kind of weird though.
Her boyfriend and eventually married him. And you know they're arguing at the table. Blah blah blah. In walks the villain of the movie. One of the villain, cousin Faith. She comes in. You know everybody just how they look. You can tell she's bad news. And towards the end of that scene, that's when we learned that Big Mama has the sugar, and you know,
diabetes.
That's a little, foreshadowing. Because they go on, they try to have Big Mama give up a leg. She say no. And then right after that, they leave the hospital. We get a focus on Bird. She's inappropriate again. She's taking a gift from the light-skinned guy, Lemuel. Is it Samuel?
Why does he have to be referred to as the light-skinned guy?
Okay, first. Now I'm glad you brought up that point. There are a lot of light-skinned people in Mama Joe's family. and she is not light-skinned. Uncle Pete is not light-skinned.
Wait a minute, did they show?
They showed a quick glimpse of the dad.
Was he light-skinned like that?
I don't think so.
I
He
can't
did not look
remember.
Creole.
I want to go back and look now. But now, yeah.
Everybody is light-skinned.
Well, wait a
Bird
minute.
is brown.
It's Terry is light-skinned.
Yes. And come on, like, seriously?
Yeah.
Where she come from? It's like the Cosby Show, and they just had
Yeah.
just random.
Yeah.
But
you had every shade.
The grandpa was like a white man, so
but sometimes it goes back. It pulls from generations.
A gathering of souls. We get Bird and her inappropriateness taking a gift from the guy. We see that Lim is struggling to find work, and I would say this. I know you brought this up before when we were talking that the movie hits on a lot of points, but it doesn't beat you over the head with it. You know, they have issues. He's struggling to find work after being convicted of dealing drugs. I'm assuming. I think that's what it said. You know, money troubles. It hits on those things, but it doesn't Tyler Perry.
It doesn't. It doesn't what?
Tyler Perry.
I agree. They did a good job of highlighting, like you said, Big Mama with the diabetes. We know that's an issue, you know, in the African American community. Even her being the caregiver for Uncle Pete. You know, you see that family members who get older and siblings might have to step in because we don't hear about him having any other type of family as far as children or something. So you know they kind of hit on that. Like you said, Liam with his that conflict with him trying to get gainful employment once he has entered the criminal justice system.
And then Bird said, I get tired of y'all with that man. 4-letter word.
And then she decides to speak with her ex.
I know we're skipping here. Hold on. Let's rewind back.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Well, this is when she took the gift first, and then we see they flashback. Like I said, it's like a television show. They jump back and forth. They show Liam, and he's talking to Max's husband about losing the job because he had to lie on his application.
Was that a flashback?
No, he came to the house. Remember, and he sat on the couch talking to him. It was like a comedic moment
to his brother-in-law.
Yeah. But and then we get to Terry and her husband Miles, which is they just tried to make something happen because their whole issue between each other is that Miles wants to go sing with Babyface, and she said no. It doesn't make much sense because it's Babyface, so why is she so adamant about it? He's a lawyer. He has the money. He was like, he took out $5,000, and she was like, what? It's like, okay, we got lawyer money. Let me go make an album with Babyface and Casey and JoJo.
I guess she just thought
Babyface brothers.
His talent was better served
as a lawyer.
Or he would use more of his talent. But come on,
did she hear that song? That was a hit song.
No, because remember, she never made it. That was
She's
one of
out.
his complaints, that she always had something to do, so she never went to hear the group. So she didn't know how good they sound.
So that's her fault.
Sounded.
And that's why everything ended up like it did. All because of Terry, one of the villains of the movie. The villains
She had
are
a lot
Terry,
on her.
Faith, and Diabetes. the three villains of this movie, if y'all were. Also, Cousin Faith moves in with Terry and Miles for some reason.
Bad idea.
It was a horrible idea.
Bad idea.
And then after that, Big Mama, she goes to get an X-ray, and they say this leg has to go, and she says no. And then she goes into a coma because she says yes. See, Big Mama was right. She knew something was up. But the kids kept telling her to get the leg took off.
Well, she had to because she...
Well, what happened when she went and got it take off? See, once again, they hitting you with these points. Just the disparity in healthcare among the blacks. See what I'm saying?
Well, she was an older lady too,
and they didn't eat like she had diabetes, so they were not.
Well, that's what they
proactive.
said. She said you had one of the daughters said, basically that Big Mama hadn't been taking care of herself or eating the right food, not with soul food every Sunday. So
Max says it a 40-year-old tradition, and my hang up with that. It's like, come on, y'all missed a Sunday somewhere in there.
Maybe they didn't.
Liars.
Maybe they didn't.
Big Mama goes into a coma, and then they argue because there's still strife with Terry and Max, and Terry wants to eat food. Max wants to eat food.
She
Terry
wants to carry
says
on the tradition.
No, and they still bickering. So,
well, maybe she was just like, what would be the point in not gathering together? Maybe she just wanted them to.
She said, "Oh, we still
to
hungry."
stay, to stay, in their tradition, to stay together instead of falling apart, which they seem to have been doing at the time. I guess within itself, eating. Everybody has to eat, like you said. Everybody gets hungry, but it's still a tradition, and maybe she felt that that's what her mother would have wanted.
Yeah. It was a weird point of contention to me, but whatever. Just eat the food, but they don't. They end up not eating the food anyway, so
nobody.
It's a moot point.
What was it? Bird makes it, and nobody shows up,
and whatever. So we moving on, my friends. There's still strife. The family's falling apart. Miles still want to be in the band. His wife doesn't want him to be. He ends up, having an affair with the bad news cousin. Should not have him staying with him. And then Ahmad, being the hero of the story, goes and through lies and deceit is going to bring the family back together. And
by inviting everybody to
the premise is weird.
Sunday dinner. First of all, go back to Ahmad is everywhere in the city. And I don't know about, we don't live in a big city. Maybe kids of a certain age do just get around. I don't know, public transit. I don't know, but
everybody just he's in everybody's conversation. He's like, he
invited to
it's
every
like
table.
He pulls a Forrest Gump, like he's in everybody's story. Somehow.
Yeah, well, he carries the story.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why is he everywhere? What? He's there when Bird is being inappropriate. He talks to Big Mama as he take her find a bro. He talks to Lim about his job troubles. It's like, why are we confiding in an 11-year-old? But who am I? I don't know how they do things.
Sometimes children are easy to talk to.
Yeah, because they don't know. He was only here for 11 years. How much insight could he give you?
Maybe people don't want insight. They just want somebody to talk to sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, Big Mama takes her final breath. And Ahmad is there, and he's crying, and he's talking, to her ghost at that point. And he lies to everybody and says, hey, Big Mama got some money. We need to get together and count this bread over bread. Let's break bread and count this bread. And
how did he get all of these adults
to follow him?
Convincing 11-year-old. With no mention of contacting his parents to see if he's supposed to be at Big Mama's house on this day.
Let me go check it out first. Like they did. Everybody just
followed him.
We're gonna listen to an 11-year-old guy,
and we're gonna come to Big Mama's house and count the money with an 11-year-old.
Yes. Oh,
that part, I was like, okay.
yeah. And then
How would that happen?
they do show up, and it was foreshadowed early on in the movie when we found out Big Mama had the diabetes. Ahmad left a towel on the table. I mean, on the stove, and she was like, "Oh, this gonna burn my house down, boy." She ain't say it like that.
Big Mama, your arm.
is that one of your? That's one of your favorite quotes.
That's one of my quotes.
But he does burn the house down almost, and
Almost.
then Uncle Pete comes in and throws the TV
Uncle Pete.
at the fire, and everything.
He threw a TV.
He threw the TV at the fire.
Is that what happened? That's where
in my mind. Nah, they sprayed him with the fire extinguisher. And he
oh yeah, and he dropped it. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Yeah, that's my interpretation of the situation. He threw the TV at the fire, and the TV is full of money for whatever reason. Who took the TV apart to put the money in there?
Maybe I don't know if it was Uncle Pete or
and then the family
Big Mama
is like, oh, all is saved, thank you, because as we know, money makes everything better.
Well, they were going to sell the house, so
I skipped all over that.
I don't know if the money, if that's what it was, the money solved that problem of whatever was going on with the house. Because remember, like you said, Terry wanted to sell it.
I didn't say that, but yeah, Terry.
Oh, okay. Terry did
want
to sell the house. We know that's the one that's was it the most affluent Joseph daughter,
correct,
or sister,
and she's a lawyer, and they would tell you at least 12 times in this movie.
Well, she does. She does. She yes, tries to remind you at every turn that she has the money and that they need her for money. But maybe she was just, frustrated that maybe she felt like that was her only place in the family, is for people to come to her for money. She could have said no, that's always an answer, but maybe that was one of the things that they tried to get out, is that sometimes, in black families, or I guess I could say African American families, because I'm from America. Sometimes, from America. When someone, or even if you're not African American, if you're just that one that has made it to a certain level, you might feel responsible for, helping out or paying debts or whatever. Maybe their responsibility is kind of cast upon you. They feel like, oh, you got to this level and you make this much money, you must be responsible, And
all the while, the money was in the TV. It's very irresponsible of Mama Joe to not bring this up anytime. Maybe she didn't know though. Maybe Uncle Pete had stashed it out of the way. That's probably what he was in that room doing all day. Now that you think about it, because we never saw him except when he delivered the best line, but.
Well, what we know, Big Mama was older.
Old people hide their money in TV.
I don't know if they
old people hate banks though. So yeah, it makes sense.
A mattress or a TV,
I would have chose the mattress because you have to take the TV apart. Is the TV functioning?
But
because you can't turn it on.
Who would think that the money is in the TV?
Well, this is the problem.
If somebody came to rob her.
That's true. But what if the person was robbing them for TVs? Now you lost your TV and thousands of dollars.
I don't think if somebody wanted to rob you, they were going to go TV to the second floor to try to find a TV. And an old person, they probably have an older TV. So
you didn't see the TV?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a thief,
well,
but I was just thinking.
So nobody had a flat screen.
Nobody had a flat screen, but I'm pretty sure that was an old TV. It was the big box, the
big bag.
Click to turn it, that kind of
13
TV.
channel.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. So nonetheless, Uncle Pete had the money the whole time.
But I was saying that maybe Big Mama,
a garden.
Of course, she never thought, you're going to die.
Oh,
but
she didn't think it was that soon. If they would have left her leg alone.
Well, if she would have lost it. I guess.
So bad she lost her life.
She lost her life. But who knows? It could have led to infection. That's
what they said. But I don't trust the doctors. Once again, these
He's
are the disparities we're talking
black
about.
Man.
He said, I'm already, you can't trust him. I work in the medical field. I see the doctors they're hiring. And believe me, they are idiots. But look, they were looking at an x-ray.
Yes.
of her hip.
Of her hip.
To cut off her tib field.
You didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have
They wanted to cut
that.
it out from the knee down, so they cutting off a tib fib, looking at a hip. So that lets me know the doctors were incompetent to begin with. But that's neither here nor
It's
there.
those
But
little things.
Who knows? Maybe I'm not. Maybe there's like an artery. Well, it's not an artery. I guess it's a femoral artery, but you wouldn't see it on the hip.
If you didn't know, he's a rat tech.
Don't be telling people my business, man.
So that's how he has this inside
information. Hey, man, I'm well rounded. I know a lot of things.
Because I would not have paid attention to that. That's for sure.
I paid attention to it. Just like I saw Amar wandering the streets. Also, speaking of paying attention, I know I brought this to your attention, but listeners and viewers, if you go to the scene when Milestone is performing, you will see a special guest in the audience.
Wait, you just want them to pay attention? You don't want to give it to them, or you want to give it to them?
I'm going to give it to them.
I mean,
no.
Well, most of these people should have seen it anyway.
But they probably missed.
I know I missed it.
In the background is none other than Magic Bishop Don Juan wearing
so random.
A drum major's hat and Michael Jackson's jacket. Why is he there? I don't know. I mean, he's from Chicago, but why is he in Soul Food? I don't know, man. But hey,
Babyface was in there.
Well, he had a reason. He made the movie. He pulled the M. Night Shyamalan. He put himself in the movie.
Or
Clint Eastwood.
Him and who we talk about it?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler.
These are all people who would insert themselves in
Spike
movies.
Lee.
Yeah, because wait till we do a Spike Lee movie.
But doesn't he put
he's always showing up doing something.
But somehow all these people came up in this conversation so far.
Spike Lee has come up and Tyler Perry has come up and now Magic Bishop Don Juan has made his appearance. I don't think did you expect him to make an appearance?
I don't think anybody would have expected
Give us your favorite scenes and quotes, Steph.
Well, Big Mama Your Arm.
That's your favorite quote?
To me, that's the quote that everybody remembers.
Well, they weren't listening intently like me because the best line of the movie is delivered by none other than Uncle Pete.
Uncle Pete. Terry
comes after Big Mama kicks the bucket. She comes to find Uncle Pete sitting downstairs, and he just goes into this soliloquy, I guess, or it's a monologue. I'm going to superimpose it over the video so people can see it. Okay. But I want you to go back and view it again at Vivica A. Fox's acting in that scene. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Because
when she comes down and sees
she's talking to Uncle Pete, and she's like, he's like, we're going to the creek today, Joe, and she was like, no. It's me, Maxine, Uncle Pete.
No, I'm Maxine, Uncle Pete. Joe's daughter.
Like, why are you talking like you're an Annie? It's horrible. But she did a good job overall, so I won't hold that against her. I like Bill K. Fox. Nonetheless, Uncle Pete, once again, he has dementia or something. There's nothing funny about that. But it is hilarious. And he asks her to go to the creek to catch some fish.
The creek today, Tim.
Once again, she tells him that she is not the person he's looking for. She's dead, and he does not pay attention to that. And he says, and I quote, remember Daddy used to raise hog? He got him, curl, put him in brine, put him in the smokehouse, made sausages. This is the greatest quote. I say that randomly all the time. It has nothing to do with anything, but I will always say, remember Daddy used to raise hogs. And it means anything you want it to mean.
Yeah.
So do you remember Daddy used to raise hogs?
I do not.
He cut them up, curl them, put them in brine, put them in smokehouse, made sausages.
Scenes.
Oh, my favorite scene, Uncle Lim gets into a fight. Terry sicks a guy named Blimp onto Lim. Don't worry about the names. And in the scene, one of the guys pours a bag of chips on Lim, and I think that's one of my favorite scenes because it's absolutely ridiculous. Why are there chips at a bar, and why are you pouring the chips? I guess like insult to injury, like pour salt on the wound, and they full of salt. So I'm assuming that's what he was going for. But the real scene, I mean, I do like the scene when Ahmad was talking to Big Mama. He did some really good acting.
He did.
For an 11-year-old.
He carried
So
the
crying
movie
and everything. I'm like, man, this is a tearjerker.
Literally, I guess. Carried. I mean, he is. It evolves. He tells the story, but to be 11.
He goes and
I don't know if he was really 11 at the time.
I think he was,
but he looks like he could have been. He doesn't look like he's a teenager.
The same age, I believe.
Okay,
so he may have been maybe 12 or so.
He really does a good job. If you're talking about child actors, he really carried it.
Let me ask you this though: you remember Daddy used to raid hog?
Whatever. I don't know if I have a favorite scene.
The one when Miles is playing the barge for Cousin Faith.
So when she went to the rehearsal or the not rehearsal, the audition.
Where the drums come from? They just make stuff.
Oh yes, I don't know where that came. He's
he
on
has
the
a
piano.
And the whole the barge song is playing. But I mean, whatever.
Maybe they had a track.
Maybe so.
He just accompanied a track.
Maybe so.
It is what was the 90s?
Yes, 1997.
So, maybe he just had a track.
I love that song, by the way.
Yes.
And every sample that they did after that gonna always hit. That thing gonna hit. Remember Daddy used to raid hog? That's my last time doing that. So no, you don't have any favorite scenes?
I'm a sucker for reconciliation, so I think I like the scene towards the end. I'm a sucker for
cornrows and manicure toes.
All right. But I think it's towards the end. Maxine and Bird were talking in the hallway. They were at the restaurant because there's a scene where Maxine invites Terry and Bird to lunch or whatever, and she says that she has an attorney and they're not going to sell the house, and Terry leaves. She's like, okay, whatever, and she just leaves. You remember? Mm-hmm. And they were in the hallway. Yes, they were talking.
I viewed it again.
You viewed it again. And that's when Bird reveals that she's pregnant because remember she had to throw up. That's how they ended up in the hallway. She has to rush to throw up. Mm-hmm. And then, she's like, oh, Liam's going to be a daddy.
Afternoon sickness.
Afternoon sickness, yes. And then her and Maxine are talking. They kind of have a heart-to-heart.
That's your favorite scene?
Huh?
Scene weak.
I don't think it's weak because you see Maxine. She has a line where she's talking about Bird has her business, and they were talking about Terry has all these resources as a lawyer, money or whatever, and she has a line where she just says I'm just a mama. All I got is my kids and my husband. I'm just a mama. Because in the movie you don't see her
do anything but be a mom.
Yes.
Well, she's not watching the mod, so.
But she does have a little girl, and they have a newborn.
They do have a newborn.
So
he bought a computer for. I forgot to bring that up. I'm all over the place.
You can talk about that later.
Okay.
But I like that scene just because you kind of see, I guess, them kind of share their worries at the time, and then when she does. In that scene, Bird says something like, Mama always said you were the strongest. She was talking to Vivica Fox's character. Maxine, thank you.
Me, Joseph.
What? Maxine, what?
Me. That's what you say. You didn't know that? I'm dropping facts and science. Nee, that's what you say, like for a maiden name.
Okay.
You learned something new today.
All right.
I'm hoping
but she says that, I guess, Big Mama said that
Maxine, I'm going to put it on the screen right here,
was always the strongest, and I don't know.
You like that scene?
Well, just that line of like, what does that mean? What made her the strongest? Is it because she seemingly
Big Mama hated Terry. Let's just get that out the way.
Had seemingly given up doing other things. Not saying there's anything wrong with being a mother and a wife if you want to do that, whatever. But you had Bird with her business, and you had Terry. We didn't see her operate outside of those roles as a mother and a wife. And I was just like, is the strongest person in the family often the person that did not go for, whatever they wanted.
That's deep. I didn't think we were getting that deep.
No, but that's what I was just thinking in that scene. That's what I was just thinking. Like, what made her the strongest? Because all of them had something going on. What makes the strong person in the family?
We'll get back to that because I do not know. Well, my other favorite scene is obviously one that's funny because I thought that's where we were going with this.
Well, you can go where you want to go.
Liam is talking to Bird's ex, and he gives the whole Coke bottle speech. I think it's
very weird.
Yeah.
How they kept zooming in on his
lips.
It's
like,
why are we doing this?
Why are we looking at his mouth like that?
But it was dramatic effect, I guess.
Oh, Coke. Was it Coca? Coke. He called it Coke, right?
I guess, yeah.
A cola.
Something to the effect. Either way, I didn't want to be that like close to his lips to see.
Coke. You better not. Yeah, so he called it Coca-Cola because if you don't know, listeners, back in the day, Coke bottles were shaped differently. Now, Coke bottles are straight up and down. So it wouldn't make sense, and it's a dated reference. So, who's shaped like a Coke bottle anyway? Are there people shaped like Coke bottles? Is that a thing? When they wore corsets. I know I'm just talking at this point. Let's wrap it up, huh? Because I'm going everywhere.
But we were on favorite scenes. Any more scenes before?
No, I think that's it. Like I say great goodbye. Acting by Ahmad. Daddy raised Hogs. It was an enjoyable rewatch. I hadn't saw it in a while. I have stuff I could just nitpick, but overall it's a decent film. It looks good, Cinematography is good. The music is good. Like it sets scenes.
Like that baby face. I know. What else you got?
What would I expect? So I for a black film, and I'm not judging on the curve or anything. I just sometimes we don't get the best resources, so things are kind of out of place. But it was shot well. It looked good. It made a lot of money. It got a series. Had a great cast. So
yes.
They did well to me. What about you? What are your impressions? Final impressions before we get out of here.
More so of the same. Like you said, shot well.
Stop trying to steal my thunder. Come up with your own answers.
Well, what's good is good. Like what Faith say to Miles, "You're good." You remember that scene?
Oh, you're good, cousin.
You're good. But
she is so unlikable. I think it's because of the movie. I don't know her, I don't know anything she's been in, but she's just like,
you always you always think of her as Faith? Is that what it is? Well, that means she played it well then, right? She played it well.
Miles, dirty dog. But Vanessa Williams did it. If she would just let him go.
Oh, please. All right. It's time to go. Because it is not her. It is not her fault.
Guys.
That her husband cheated.
Hadn't watched in a while. Give it a rewatch. And
this was fun. We must do more.
We will do more. Knock episode 1 out of the park. But that was Soul Food, guys. It was awesome.
Go watch it if you haven't. Even though it was spoiled, watch it.
Yeah. Peace.
Till next time.